What's up, guys? Doug Lane, Fast Lane Car Care. We got this, it's probably 2000, it was built in 99, but it's probably 2000 Malibu, or I mean Monte Carlo SS. We'll do this back window, see how it goes. You guys that are wondering how I got it prepped, it's just dry shrink prep, and I got my line across right about here, so I figure about half. I don't lock down the sides, I just kind of push them down, but they're not wet, you know what I mean, they're not locked down totally. I'm fairly certain I only need to get to like right here, but I'm not gonna know until I put the lights in there. But I'm pretty sure like right here is the last little slat that I can see. I'm getting a lot of tension in it, so that's good enough for now. Like I said, I'm 99% sure we don't even need to be up this high. Come down here and do the bottom. You can get yourself in trouble on these corners because you're going to kind of want to go this way, but the edge of the film is going this way, so you need to just keep going straight. All right. Alright, so what I'm trying to do here is I've kind of got myself in a little bit of a pickle. I got a lot of film here. I just want to be careful because, like I said, on the other side, I only have to get to basically here. So I don't have a whole lot of room to go. And I just don't want to overheat the film in this corner and crease it. What I should have done is when I tacked this all out, I should have lifted both sides back up, pulled it a little bit tighter, and got rid of some of that space. But hey, we're gonna get it. Ain't no big deal. Alright, so we're pretty good right there. I'm cool the film down. I started to melt this little edge. Ain't no big deal. Kind of basically do a wet check and a wet shrink. You see it steaming. Alright, so we got a little bit of meltage right here, but it doesn't matter because our line is like clear down here. So I don't want to fight the bottom of this window with fingers and stuff, so we're just going to go ahead and kind of double shrink it basically. Whew, arm's getting tired. Alright, take these out for just a quick second here. Gotta love teenage girls' cars. There's a couple things we gotta look at. Let me just go ahead and grab another light. I'll take this one. Okay. First of all, we got a little cleaning to do down there. But what we want to pay attention to are these defroster tabs. We don't have to worry too much about them because obviously they're not going to work. Looks like the lower one is completely removed, but we're going to have to cut out around that. So whenever I see a car with that, I like to come in here and just check. See how much of a border you have right there, which we have quite a bit. And then as you can see, this is our last visible line. If you end up getting like a little crease or something like that in here on your film, you know what I mean, on the outside, you can fix this pretty easily. You're not going to notice it on this border, but I always like to do enough shrinking and whatnot that that's not an issue. So we will throw this in there, throw that in there probably, and I guess start cutting it out. I am going to go ahead and cut the video for now because I'm not going to install this yet. I'm going to cut out everything else, and if you've seen one window pattern get cut out, you've seen them all. So I'll be back in a minute and show you how we stick this. Alright, we're back on this Monte Carlo. Show you how we prep the inside. Again, gotta love these girls' cars. So basically, normally, I mean, a lot of times I'll use one of these, but for this one, this car has like all kinds of, I don't know, stuff on the outside of the glass, like, I don't know what it is, man, it's crazy. So we're gonna just go ahead and steel wool it. I kind of pre-soaked this, like when I was doing this, these quarter windows here. I went ahead and just sprayed it down, and then as this stuff the slip solution started drying, I go to the other side and then I spray it down a little bit, and that's just going to help break whatever this is down before we actually start scrubbing. And then obviously these little soapy steel wool pads have soap built in, so we should have some pretty good cleaning action. Cut around our defrosters. We gave ourselves a pretty decent border on the top and bottom because we've got plenty of room to work with. The biggest challenge, I think, is going to be making sure this little wasp thing doesn't get in our tent, but also just making sure we get around these, because if we touch, I don't know if you guys can see, but if we touch this chunk of solder here, it's not going to stick. So we got to be pretty mindful of that. So other than that, man, we're just going to go ahead, just basically treat this like anything else. I'll probably squeegee it twice just to be extra careful, extra safe, because I don't want any junk in my tent. And sometimes when you steal wool and little fibers, you just saw me pick one off that defroster tab, sometimes the little fibers will come off and get trapped in your stuff. Normally you can fish them back out, but looks like here we got a broken defroster line or something going on kind of crazy with it. I think can't really tell if it's burnt or what it is, but it doesn't look great, so be mindful of that. Be careful with it. I think, I'm not 100% sure, I think this car has been tinted before. This quarter window to my right had a little bit of adhesive residue down here and on the side, so I don't know. I ended up having to redo it because I missed that aspect of it. I missed it. You know, but it's kind of weird because that's the only window that had anything on it, so I don't know. But luckily it's just a quarter window. It's not really a big deal, just boom bam. The only nice thing about working on older stuff like this is, like, this car's got the clear coat peeling off of it. It's in pretty rough shape. So, plus the age, you know, if it's not a spotless, just absolutely banging job, it's not really gonna matter. I always still want it to look as good as I possibly can, but, you know, you can only do so much. So we're going to use the 8-inch Orange Crush. We'll give it a try. I'm not into this car for a whole lot of time. They don't want a windshield strip, so if I do end up having, you know, a crease or something like this because of this Orange Crush, it won't take us forever to redo it. And if it does work out, we've obviously saved ourselves a bunch of time because we're squeegeeing 3 inches more water with every pass. So goodness. It makes me a little bit nervous though, because the first time I used this Orange Crush on a back window, I don't even know how I did it, but I did end up putting a crease in the film, and that's like the first time in a really long time I had creased any film on a back window, you know what I mean, during the installation process. So it's kind of made me a little nervous about using it, but I've used it a few times since, and it tends to work out pretty well. So now, I don't want to spray a bunch of water up there just so I don't have a bunch of stuff running down out of the headliner and all that. Whew. Dogs are barking, who knows. Some days I miss having a shop. There for now. Hopefully it was UPS they were barking at, but I didn't hear, it didn't sound like a truck, but oh well. 100 different ways to reverse roll. Some people reverse roll left to right, some right to left, some roll the entire thing up, some only roll half up. It's gonna be a little bit of an issue here. Biggest thing is just don't let the adhesive touch anything that's not clean glass. That's your biggest problem, or your challenge, I should say. Then some people also reverse roll top to bottom. I don't know if I just said that or not, which I think is pretty interesting. I can't say I've ever tried it. This is not a great video on how to reverse roll, I can promise you that much. But we're way off, so we need to just do something like that. At least we have a pretty decent sized border. We don't have to worry too much. Get that dealt with there. Okay, boom. That should be good right there. And we are way off over here. Looks nice, looks nice. See what we got, kind of smooth this out, make sure we don't have any light gaps. Like I said, we should be plenty covered up here. We will for sure have to trim right there. So before we get too involved, just go ahead and do that, because what'll happen if we don't is we go to squeegee that out, it can push, it can basically suck up trash, and we don't want that. When we squeegee it out, it's obviously not going to squeegee all the way, so it'll suck up trash, pull it down into our work area. And we just want to move this, let that tuck in there. Perfect. And when I'm using the big squeegee, the big orange crush, I like to just kind of maybe go a little bit slower than I would with the smaller one, just to ensure I don't have any wet spot or dry spots, which would lead to creases. Especially on a window that kind of took me a second to lay like this. And then this stuff right here is going to be the most difficult part to get, all the moisture pushed out, because the moisture just wants to just sit in those little channels or whatever. Fear not, though. We can get them done. Whew! Arm's tired, man. I don't know. My arm's been bothering me the last couple weeks. Now that Christmas and all that stuff's over, I'll probably go to the chiropractor and massage therapist and all that stuff, get tuned up. But as for right now, we're just a little too busy still, which is a good problem to have. But you gotta take time to take care of yourself, man, especially in this industry. It is surprisingly hard on your body. Okay, so talked about It's of course trash day, so we talk about this channel here, which actually doesn't look too bad, but kicks and giggles, we'll get the old trusty red line out. She's gonna push some moisture, that's for sure. And she is on the Fusion 5 long handle, so it's just a 5-inch wide squeegee holder, obviously with the extended or longer handle, whereas my hybrid is on a shorty. So there's just a little spot right here under this defroster tab. Just go ahead and push it out with the little foot. I think I got this side already, so that's good. Now just give this, you know, the bottom 4 or 5 inches, we'll just give it another pass with the bulldozer. Bada bing, bada boom. Clean up our mess, check for any little fingers like that little guy right there. Oh, he might just decide to lay down now. Get our mess cleaned up, clean up the outside. We're ready to hit the button and let this customer know that their vehicle is ready. We got one little spot to touch up. I did have a little bit of a little something there, I think. What was I saying? Oh, had a little fold right there on that door. Not really a big deal. Heat it up, push it out. Just give this a little wipe down here real quick. Get our junk out of here, get the back glass cleaned up. I forgot to mention earlier, because I didn't see it until after I shut the video off. This ride here is a special edition Monte Carlo. I don't know what makes it a special edition, probably the interior, but thought it was pretty cool. Believe it or not, this is actually the first one I've ever tinted. I think I mentioned earlier I drove one of these during driving school. In our state, you have to take a driver's school, driving school and pass in order to get your license. So I know some states it's like it's not a requirement, it's an option, but in our state it is a requirement. But yeah, I drove one of these. It was bright yellow. I remember it like it was yesterday because I had probably the coolest driving instructor ever. We pulled up to a red light, and there was this individual, I don't know how old they were or anything, but they were, you know, revving their car up and all that stuff, and my instructor looked at me. The speed limit was 60 miles per hour, and my instructor looked over at me and he said, "You could probably beat him to 60. And I said, okay, and we did. So anyway, guys, just a little bit of touch up left to do. That's how you do a Monte. Back window, I know they look kind of intimidating with that bubble shape, but it's really not that big of a deal. So let's see, we got the clear coat failing, all that stuff. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one.